Morning. Seeing as everybody's ready, I'll call the standing committee on finance to order. Like to note that a live audio video feed is being broadcast and recorded via Zoom and is available on the Town of Golden YouTube page. We have council and senior staff around the table. We have Councillor Dale and Councillor Hambrick attending remotely. And get to the right. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the land in which we gather is shared ancestral territory of the Ktunaxa and the Secwepemc people. Golden is also home to the Métis Nation, Columbia River Society, and other diverse Indigenous heritage. We are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work in this territory. Moving down to item 2, are there any late items, Ms. Sill?
There are no late items.
With that, we are looking for the adoption of the meeting agenda as presented. Councillor Routley, Councillor Manuel seconding that. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. And we have the adoption of the minutes of the open standing committee on finance that was held January 26th. Looking for a mover of that. Councillor Routley, Councillor Guil. Councillor, any errors or omissions in those minutes? Seeing here none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Councilors, are in business arising from those minutes that we're not going to be dealing with today? Seeing none, we have no delegations and presentations, and we move on to reports. We have Chief Financial Officer, draft 2026-2030 budget discussions, and we have three items, I believe. Ms. Brown.
Thank you very much, Mayor Ozust. We are going to start today with the budget summary for the recreational core facilities budget. So the financial plan for core facilities. It should be 2 pages, and starting with the senior center.
I think we have everybody in place.
Everybody's ready? All right. The core facilities, just as a general reminder for everybody, is named so from the CSRD Core Facilities Services Agreement, where the CSRD pays 20% of the net expenditure for 4 separate facilities: the senior center, the civic center, the swimming pool, and Mount Seven Radplex. There is a maximum, so a cap on these facilities for the operations. Historically, it's been 125. Currently, it is 144 for the 2025 year end. And then it is 155 to 50 for the years of 26 through to 2029. And then there should be a renewal of the agreement for 2030. And I believe at that point it would be renegotiated or otherwise. Every 5 years there is an opportunity to increase the contribution amount for the CSRD. So at this point in time for 2030, I've kept it steady at the 155 to 50 mark. We can certainly adjust that as we get closer to that timeline, but just a general explanation for the context of this discussion. So starting with the senior center, the core contribution in this area is at 20% currently. And operating expenses have increased slightly, so only 6% for 2026. There have been some contracted and general services added to ensure proper maintenance of the building. There's not much to note in terms of revenues or expenditures, and so I'll let you take a look, and any questions you may have, we can certainly field, but a 6% overall increase to that budget.
Ms. Brown, could you for the general public, could you speak to the arrangement that the town of Golden has with the seniors who operate the facility?
Certainly, the senior center leases the facility, so it is a town-owned municipal facility. The lease is for, I believe, $1 per year, and so it is not at market rate. So that would be considered perhaps a contribution on a separate schedule of the facility from us to one of the non-for-profits in town. Us being the town of Golden, and that lease, I believe, is very long-term. Jordan, could you refresh my memory? I think it's a 60-year lease. It is a significantly lengthy lease in this case.
It was drafted by a bunch of very wise seniors back in the day. And yeah, there's definitely some it's a long-term arrangement. I'd have to pull the agreement.
Yeah, sorry, put you on the spot. I didn't mean to. And therefore, the town of Golden maintains the exterior, so the building envelope. We would be responsible for the roof, for the larger maintenance items, and the senior center maintains the inside and conducts the operations within it.
Thank you very much for that. As a follow-up, do we track the contributions, like the in-kind contribution of the facility to the senior society as a financial contribution to the not-for-profits? And if so, where do we track that?
We don't currently track this within our financial statements, and it would not necessarily be correct to track it for financial statement presentation. However, for managerial reports, as well as budget reports in the future, we can certainly track it, and it would be an in and out of a market rate, but we would have to establish that and receive direction from council to move that forward. It's certainly possible.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I know we do a few in-kind donations, so I would like to just, it doesn't have to be part of, but like an in-kind donation, one for all of the things, so we actually have a clear picture of how much we are in-kinding out, because I do believe it is important as opposed to this is money that we are not taking in, and it should be viewable to the public, I think, as this is how the town supports outside of budgets, right? Because it is a monetary gift, and it's not just the senior center, it's other places as well. Like an overall in-kind, I think, would be useful.
And the bottom line is those dollars that are in kind are taxpayers' dollars, so hence the reporting to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Councillor Guil?
I just was wondering if you say that it's the outside that we look after. So when they do outside improvements like the timberwood framed entryway, that's added to that we're supposed to look after. But what if like the HVAC or the electrical or lights and all these kind of things, are we taking on those as well?
Mr. Cochran?
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, through your worship, those types of things are included. Although at times I know in the past the seniors society has approached the town with respect to going after grants for, say, things like interior lighting improvements, for example. In which case we'd permit that.
Follow-up?
So they're responsible for all those items then?
Ms. Cochran?
My recollection of the lease agreement is that we're responsible for the exterior envelope of the building as well as the interior major components. So HVAC.
Follow-up?
I just think that, there's other in-kind buildings that we're letting people use for very reasonable. That sounds like a very good deal for the town, where we're not having to go in there and do this work. No.
At the same time, with regards to grants, and I'll use the timber framing on the exterior, that's an asset that's on the exterior that we now are responsible. We, the
Exactly.
ratepayers of the community, are responsible for. Okay, thank you for that. Councillor Emmanuel?
Is this similar to other commercial things where the body that leases, the owner is responsible for the structure, and the lessee, the people that lease it from them, are responsible roughly for maintenance?
Ms. Cochran?
Through your worship, just off the top of my head, the various lease agreements that we've got for various municipally owned facilities do vary a little bit between each of the agreements. They've all been penned at different times by different persons. Typically, though, the lease agreements do include the exterior envelope of the building, so roof, siding, windows, things like that, and then major components of the interior, major systems of the interior.
Councilor Cooper?
Well, I was just gonna ask if we can bring forward a motion to have a tracking document or, oh. Yeah.
Ms. Phil?
Later today on the regular open council meeting, you'll see the resolution tracking memo, and there is a council resolution related to a report of in-kind contributions the town of Golden makes. So that does exist.
Thank you. Anything else with regards to the background on the Civic Center? And now we've got the numbers before us. Any comments with regards to the financials for the senior center? Seeing none, I guess we move on to the Civic Center.
So next we can discuss the Civic Center, a little bit of a different arrangement with this one yet again. The Golden District's Arts Council, Kicking Horse Culture, operate this facility on our behalf. We have recently, in the past 2-3 years, integrated the court system into the building. And so we are receiving revenue from the provincial government for having court held in the Civic Center. So general facility rental revenue exceeded expectations in 2025, and we're budgeting accordingly. So an 11% increase in 2026. However, currently not budgeting for an increase in the provincial rate. I believe that requires a little bit more work and some support. So the recreation core contribution at this point in time was only 19%, almost 20% in 2025. And we're budgeting 20% every year thereafter of the total of the maximum. So a slight decrease in that as a result of the increase in revenues. And then we've got approximately 139,000 budgeted for the expenditures. The contract in general services agreement is currently under renegotiation for next year and should normalize after this point. There have been quite a few changes in the current contract moving forward for 2026 in terms of how bookings are going to be done and the costs of those versus having them in-house. So I'll welcome any questions you have.
Thank you, Council. Any questions with regards to Civic Center? Council Cooper?
I thought just to refresh my memory, that the province was a yearly contract and it's showing up till 2030, but I thought that it was yearly, not progress further. And I guess I have a concern if we've got it in the budget and that contract ends, how does that affect our bottom line going forward for the next 5 years if that 36,000 is not coming in?
I'll dive in on this one. Thank you, Your Worship. Staff have projected this out as a longer term thing, just based on how fast the province is moving on finding a new home, and based on kind of the lack of progress that we are hearing of in terms of the province securing and building a new venue. My conversations with the folks at the province that have been working on this is, even if they find a turnkey building, it'll probably be a 2-year renovation process before they even have courts pulled out into a new venue. So with that, we've just kind of earmarked this and projected it out as the 5-year, because our gut feel is that this will be a 5-year agreement. Back to the comments on the actual lease agreement. The lease agreement is a 1-year agreement with a 30-day out clause for both parties. And the ability for us to renegotiate pricing and stuff with the province is absolutely something that's on the table if council chooses to go with that direction. The rate right now is based on the exclusive rental of the entire facility underneath the Civic Center Class C rates, as at the time that was kind of the best fit in alignment with our bylaw. However, the province did not want to enter into a typical rental agreement. They wanted to have this agreement on a lease, as that's kind of how they roll with pretty much any building that they're using. So hopefully that gives you the quick Coles notes of that.
Any follow-up, Councilor Cooper?
How does that affect so if we even say a good, like it could be 5 years, but in 3 years' time, if it changes, how does that affect the budget when we've got it as a line item? I guess that's more to Ms. Brown. How does that carry off? If we're not collecting that money, then where do we stand?
Ms. Brown?
Thank you for the question. It would definitely reduce a few of the expenditures in terms of the salaries and wages that have additionally had to be put into the facility. With the province being within the facility, there's some time spent by Director Petrovics working on the contract, dealing with the province, and therefore we have included that internal allocation of his hours. And so you'd see a reduce in the salaries, wages, and benefits. You'd likely see a reduce in the materials and supplies as well, and perhaps some of the contracted and general services in terms of the janitorial required. So although we would likely have a slightly larger expense, it would be more in line with what we previously paid before receiving this provincial revenue. So the expenditures that were added as a result of the province will decrease as well. So.
Anything else, Council? Couple questions with regards to the operating expenses, salary, wages, and benefits, as well as contract and general services. There's quite large jumps there. Would we say that those are directly related to the additional revenue or the rental of the facility to the province? Are those aligned? Mr. Petrovic?
I would say that that there's a significant contribution out of that goes into my time as well in the contracted services, some janitorial and such. However, I would say that that's probably about 40 to 50% of the story. A lot of the other costs are due to some staffing associated with some different callouts on HVAC malfunctions, different maintenance related items that go beyond the work of the contractor. There's definitely been a bit of an increase in that side of things. And as well too, just on the contracted services with the KHC side of things, they've been definitely stepping up their game and doing a better job in terms of running a solid booking process and looking after the facility. That does come with some added costs as well too that have hit our contracted services line items to just manage our regular bookings that are being inquired into the facility. Keeping in mind that at the Civic Center, we're accepting bookings upwards of 3 years out for larger weddings and such. So that staff time invested now isn't a direct reflection into revenues and such based on placeholder dates and everything going into the future.
Thank you for that. Anything else, Council? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Mount 7 Recplex.
Okay, so at the Mount 7 Recplex, similar story. We've got a 20% contribution by the CSRD to the net operating cost of the building. Facility rentals this year exceeded expectations, so at about 129% of budget. Programs and courses were at about 144% of budget. And so we are estimating an increase of about 32% to the bottom line revenue within the facility. For the recreation core contribution, it's approximately a 22% increase as a result of the increased operating expenses associated with the facility. So salaries, wages, and benefits are increasing by about 33%, which initially seems like a very large number, but I just want to explain a little bit about what has happened with the recreational services salaries and wages as a result of diving into how we've been budgeting for them in the past. For years prior to 2026, all of the public works and recreational services salaries and wages were allocated amongst all of the public works and recreational services budgets. So if they were not being direct coded, so if it wasn't, in Jordan's case, Jordan's wage would be specifically allocated to a recreational budget, whereas Director Petrovic's, Director Cochran's budget would be directly coded to a public works budget. But for all of the unionized staff, we took an allocation based on the usage within each of those facilities. There was a misconception in terms of how we allocated, because for Jordan's core staff, they didn't actually work at any of those other public works facilities. And so they were sprinkled throughout those other facilities, and it was being shortchanged in terms of the coding to those specific budgets that are recreation only. Even in terms of, it is part of the recreation services overall segment, but Jordan staff wouldn't necessarily contribute to parks and landscaping and facility maintenance. And so while initially we had thought that allocation, the financial services department chose that allocation many years ago, and we refined it this year in terms of specifically allocating the recreational services as opposed to the public works services staff only to the budgets where they would actually be used. So Mount 7 Recplex, the swimming pool, not necessarily the civic center. It's mainly Jordan who would actually be allocated there. The same with the senior center. There's very limited usage of the staff. And so for all of those allocations, we've had to increase what's gone to Mount 7, increase what's gone to the swimming pool, as well as the arena, as a result of refining that budgeting technique. And so it does explain why it's larger in this case, and why you've seen thus far with the public works budgets, they've come under budget by a little bit more. And so there is a balance overall, but it does skew the balance in terms of appearing as if these recreation budgets are astronomically increasing, when the actuals are more in line with where the staffing and the budgeting should have been historically. So I think that's a relatively large, complex budgeting shift. And I just want to make sure, if you have any questions, let me know, and we can work through that.
Thank you, Councilor Creel.
Yeah, that kind of like puts a whole wrench into the recovery percentage that we're expecting, which it almost doesn't seem like fair to that department now. Though these are true numbers, but they weren't reflected before. So they were reflected under different, like under operations? Is that how they were reflected, or spread out?
It would have been spread out amongst all the recreational services, as opposed to having the service staff only in the departments where the service staff is used. And so where they would have been in maybe Parks General or the Civic Center or otherwise, now they are specifically into the budgets where they are providing those services. And so it's definitely a shift. However, I would note that despite this misallocation historically, so if you look at the budget to actual in the operating expenses for Mount 7, it's a 33% increase over the budget for the prior year, but not over the actual. It's actually a lower increase as compared to the actual. So in terms of the recovery percentage, I think the actual is still falling in line. If you look at the recovery rate for Mount 7, Mr. Petrovic has still achieved a 37% recovery rate.
Which is incredible.
Which is relatively incredible.
Yeah.
So, and moving forward, especially with that facility, you've got 36, 35, 37, 36, 37. So those are relatively impressive numbers for having recovery of the rates. to note as well that as we increase, it increases the costs and 75 versus the 25, but the recovery rate is spectacular. So, however, it cannot be maintained at all facilities. So keep that in mind as we go to the next budget.
Prior to going to the next budget, you alluded to some of the benefits. Could you speak more so to the benefits from an accounting perspective of the redesign of the financial reporting changes?
Not necessarily from an accounting perspective, but I think in terms of an allocation of the true cost of the facilities. If you consider the past few years, the way that Director Petrovics has been trying to hold to a budget that simply does not reflect reality. In the future, there's going to be far more ability to maintain the budget as it is because it reflects the staff that he actually has rather than trying to constantly trim and not understanding why it's not working. So I think it represents more accurately what's happening within each of those facilities. It also represents the budget more appropriately for recovery from the CSRD. And so historically, if we've been budgeting very low, we're consistently having to go back to the CSRD to say, hey, we would like more money this year because unfortunately we've gone over budget. But now we're saying, hey, we've been budgeting a little low. This is an improper allocation. We've refined it further this year. And so I think it further supports the argument contention that 20% net is a relatively small amount in the scheme of things, and that the cap on the amount we are exceeding every single year.
Thank you for that. And to that last point, and we've had that conversation around the table previous budgets, is that we were pushing up on that max. Max has now been increased by virtue of its 5 years. We were able to do the 25% bump. But from your last statement, I take that we're already pushing up on that ceiling of the 155, 250 already this year. Is that exactly it?
If you look at the third page, so just below the swimming pool budget, you can see that in every single year, we are hitting the absolute maximum. So my contention would be that the 25% max gets us back up to 0.0, and then every year thereafter, we need more. And so we should have raised it sooner, I believe, or if we could have, it should have been raised sooner.
Then I go back to some of the earlier statements. You said that we have the opportunity to renegotiate in 2030. And that we took the bump in 2025, so it'd be 2020-30 that's not a renegotiate in the 25% bump. Is there the ability to renegotiate it at any point in time? Because I'm seeing it where if I look at December and we're there, interpreting this correctly, we're there right now for we're actually exceeded it for 2020. We're projecting to exceed it for 2026. So I believe there's an impetus upon us to go back to the CSRD this year to renegotiate now and not wait for that 25% bump and not wait for any other triggers. Do we have the tools within the agreement to be able to do that?
I don't believe we do. The way that the agreement was made was via, I'm forgetting the word, when they go out to the public.
Was it a referendum?
No,
conference?
your existing
Position.
your existing core contribution agreement. Sorry to jump in, but that was achieved via referendum, and that's what set that 20% contribution from the CSRD. So that referendum was hosted close to 10 years ago, I want to say. And that was what kind of triggered that 20% contribution. As staff, we did a whole bunch of work on the demographic studies, and we're kind of proving to the regional district that we were hitting that kind of 60-40 mix with our own programming across our facilities with, golden, area A visitation versus golden based visitation. And there was a task force that worked on this back in the day. And but yeah, that's what set the groundwork for that regional district-based referendum.
And so within that agreement, there is only an ability to raise it by 25% every 5 years, is my understanding, but I would have to look to perhaps the CAO to understand further that legal mechanism, if there is within that contract.
Mr. Dennegar?
Restate the question specifically.
With the referendum for the core services, I believe they can only increase 25% every 5 years. Is that correct? And that's as a result of the way that the contract was formulated through the counter petition or referendum?
I think it's actually something that's legislative more than just the agreement. Yeah, like the
That's-
agreement
that's what I
hinges on the
thought.
legislation, yeah.
Mhm. And so it would require, I believe, negotiation with the CSRD and perhaps another referendum in order to be able to change that. And so it would require appetite from the Area A public as well. So it's a larger endeavor than simply increasing, but certainly something that council could discuss with our counterparts at the CSRD for.
Think of that, and just to finish off on this one, please know that I will follow up, and I believe there's opportunity, if there's mutual agreement to address it, to make some changes, recognizing that there may be a process to do that within the confines of the referendum language. But I think it's inappropriate that we have an agreement in place that specifies 20% of the net operating costs for these facilities, and that we are not recovering that full 20% at this point in time. So I think that is a concern for me, and I will take that to the electoral director and have those conversations, and hopefully it's a mutually agreed to path forward to address that. Please.
I'm also not clear on whether the cap on that 20% was part of the referendum or if that was driven by the CSRD within their bylaw. So that would be another question to raise.
My recollection was driven by administrative staff at the CSRD, and it's not part of the referendum. So, and that may be our loophole. Councilor Guillo?
Yeah, I think, if it has to go back to referendum, it's prudent to get on it quickly because the election's coming up. It would be a good time for it.
And I would actually say if it has to go back to,
If.
yeah.
Because I do know that if there was any interest in a pool, we definitely would need these extra funds to run it, for operations. So.
Actually, I would be so bold to say as if there was a shared service, again, watch my language. If it was a joint venture between the Town of Golden and the CSRD Area A for an aquatic center, I'm sure the agreement would be negotiated different than a 20% net. It would be similar to the Recplex where it's 50-50 plus or minus 5% based on converted assessment, if I recall correctly. So yes, it doesn't directly impact the potential of that facility, but it would be a separate negotiation. Okay, thank you. Councilor Emmanuel. Mike, please.
Going back to the Recplex, I mean, it seems to be doing good and very well used. I appreciate that. Do you anticipate continuing at this level, or do you think there's a growth potential there? I'm just kind of curious.
Mr. Pedrick, can you speak to the recent growth and projection for the future?
Yes, I can. I just want to back up for 1 second based on the conversations around shared services funding and everything else. And just remind council that at the last election, the CSRD did host a referendum for a new aquatic facility. And part of that referendum did include when the Area A residents voted on that, that did trigger to bring what would inevitably be a new pool underneath the exact same funding bylaw as the arena. So that was basically your 48, 52% split in terms of operating budgets and everything else. So the framework has been set for that, and that's how that project was approached. So out of that process, we did get the buy-in from the regional district for that. Sorry, back to the question on the Recplex. part of the reason that staff have been kind of talking about doing more of a facilities review is to unpack exactly your question, Councillor Manuel, in terms of showcasing what the actual potential is within that building, where it can be taken from a use and a revenue based perspective. So it is tough for staff right now to say that we can continue taking it to the next level. The potential is definitely there. We still have more gym time. We still have the ability to be doing a little bit more within that space. Of course, it does come with the costs of staffing and maintenance and such. Programs like your summer camps are now at a point where they're basically recovering 98, 99% of the staff wages. We have waiting lists that are well beyond double what our registration capacity is right now. So there is a potential that is there, but that definitely requires a bigger political conversation.
Something's twigging for me. You say we're recovering 98 to 99% of the cost of the summer programs, and we have the potential of doubling it. So we'd be still losing 2% on twice as much activity. Is that fair? Ms. Brown?
So so for example, there was the trial of the camp program. And as a result of expanded or return to normal level capacity within the financial department, we did an analysis of the staffing levels. And so that recovery percentage, that 90%, 98% recovery, is recovery of the staff costs only, not of the facility. So although it is a 2% increase, it is relatively minor in terms of the cost of the building. And it does contribute to the ability to generate that income to be over and above that 25% contribution mark. Continuations of programs that contribute more to the staff, because it actually allows for more capacity contributing to other programs as well. Certainly they are not just contributing to the camp program, but also to the running of the rest of the facility. So I think it does provide a little bit of reduction. We can't say for sure by every single hour for each individual, but I believe there's good foundation for assuming that there is a contribution to maintaining the financial services, so doing the cash outs and the cleaning. And so there are other staff who can do more within the facility as a result of having these staff in the building managing those camp programs.
Thank you. And my takeaway from that is that we've been able to increase some programs that have additional revenue that are staff cost recovery, but there's been no increase to the staffing costs.
There is an increase to the staffing cost as a result of the programming, yes.
Okay. It's not sounding like a viable business. Ms. Pedrix?
I think to that comment, though, I mean, when we start comparing recreation to business, we get into a nasty can of worms.
Thank you for that.
And when we look at the wealth of our social programming that we continue running the facility and the impact that it has in the community is absolutely huge. Our winter walking programs, some of our kids' fitness-based programs. And this is why the complication gets so complex in a budget-based setting, as council wants to see certain levels of cost recovery, and we still maintain those $2 based programs. One of the big opportunities that is coming up when we look at our summer camps programs, the cost of putting down our floor cover and pulling it back up, is your rates and fees bylaw does expire in April. Staff are working hard to bring forward a first report on this, hopefully within the next month, for council to look at some of our rates, fees, and staff do intend to note some of the areas where a little bit more than a 5% increase would be considerable for some of our programming, which in turn would, with summer camps, for instance, get us beyond that sweet spot of just recovering our staff wages and actually making contributions back to rent for the facility as well. So unfortunately, it's tough to package this all up at the same time and have all the stars aligned so that we could tackle rates and fees the same day we look at an operational budget. But we are working hard to bring that forward. And we have a list of items at both the Recplex and the swimming pool that we plan to bring forward to request some bump ups in our fees to help with our recoveries at our facilities.
Thank you for that. And that's one of the notes that I had regards to recreation is, do revenues drive programs? Do activities that provide community benefit drive programs. So and that's that broader conversation. That was one of the overarching notes that I had for myself with regards to recreation. And that's why I brought up the comparable sort of business model. Follow up?
Well, and that's the fine, like it's specifically at the Recplex, like that is that fine line that we walk on a continual basis with how we program that facility and making sure that we have that balance of affordable social based programs and not rocking the boat too hard and changing kind of historic practices, but also looking at those opportunities to be able to bump up our revenue. So again, this is part of the reason on looking at more of these kind of facility master plan type documents where we can actually unpack this a little bit better for council and speak about the social value of what we do and bring forward, you know, details on the amount of heads that walk through the door of that facility every week. There's some pretty compelling information that needs to be part of the mix of the greater conversation.
And it needs to be part of that greater communications to the community.
Absolutely.
I've heard Council Manuel and Council Cooper.
Speaking to somewhat the same idea, we have trails, and they're good for exercise, they're good for socialization, they're almost fit into recreation, but would that maintenance fit into the general operations, or would it be recreation?
Well, you have a separate parks budget coming up that includes details on that. But yet, you know, trails is yet another opportunity for us to collect some user stats and details so council truly understands that social impact that some of those facilities have, and being able to benchmark it against your built facilities would be wonderful. But to date, we just haven't had time to implement some of those trail counters and such that we'd like to see out on our trail at a staff level that I would love to see out on our trails. So I can bring that data forward to council.
Thank you. Council Cooper.
I know we're not doing rates and fees right now, but just because you brought it up, I wanted to just ask a question regarding the floor coverage. So when in the rates and fees, is there an actual item line for floor coverage? Therefore, if someone is renting for something and it's going to cost extra here's the base rate, plus you're going to have to pay for floor coverage, is that divided out as an additional charge? And if not, could it be?
Yeah, we have a floor cover specific rate that is substantially higher than the rental. I can pull the bylaw in a minute, but we already have that established. We just need more based on the time and cleaning and care that needs to be given to that asset, the floor cover. We're finding that there's an opportunity to help recover our staff costings by increasing that rate a bit, and that's a bylaw conversation that's forthcoming.
Thank you. I'm going to bring this back to core facilities conversation and ask staff. And I don't know if this needs to be in the form of a motion resolution or just direction that staff review the agreement that we have with the CSRD with regards to core services and bring us back some information relative to the cap, whether or not it's part of the referendum and or if it's just a separate negotiation. I looked to staff, would you want, looking to Mr. Denegard, I'd probably fall into his bailiwick. Is that something that you would want in the form of a motion, or is that direction adequate?
A resolution would be fantastic because it is pretty high priority, and I'm guessing somebody might have it drafted.
Ms. Seville, do you have something up there that I can put my name on? Yeah. Yeah, it's broad enough that, but staff understand the nuance of reviewing the cap, the aspect of the cap. And that's all part of that. So happy to move that. Council Manuel seconded it. Council, any discussion on the motion? Seeing, hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. It'll be a fun trip to seminar next time with Director Cathcart. Sorry, I saw a hand up, Mr. Petrovic.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. One of the other items with the Recplex that definitely keeps me awake at night is when we look at what we've been doing in this facility with piloting different programming, the work that we've done on testing kind of a long list of programs, infilling different spaces, but most notably is your summer camp program. We started this about 3 years ago as a pilot initiative. And right out of the gate, we had huge take up and kind of just ran with it. And out of this conversation today, it would be nice to have some formal direction from council, whether we continue offering programming like this or whether we peel it back. And when it brings forward these kind of awkward conversations of myself and the CFO not seeing eye to eye when I go, but we've recovered it with revenue. It makes it tricky in terms of our internal alignment and also our budget with some of these types of programs. So if happy to answer more questions if we want to unpack this a bit more, but having a bit of direction that our current lineup of programming will kind of stand would make my life a lot easier as we approach the next month.
Okay, thank you. When you started this, I put my name on the list by virtue of asking the questions. Are we competing with private enterprise in doing these summer programs?
No. Any of the summer camp programs that have been rolled out in the past have definitely been run by non-for-profit groups. We do have some private enterprises like the climbing gym. Gymnastics is still non-for-profit, but they pay some wages out of that. Like they do some different summer camps, but based on the demand that we have in the community, that we opened registration for our spring break camps last week, and within 15 minutes we had a waiting list that was double what our capacity was. So I feel that the need within the community is there's definitely lots of opportunity.
Thank you. My takeaway is that there is a gap. Thank you. Councilor Cooper.
I was gonna say I'm highly in favor of these summer camps. It is a core service that for community, the other they're more elite camps. They're not a family friendly everyday camp. These programs are really well attended. My only question regarding the camps is, do we ever put in for grants for hiring a student, like hiring high school students to support staff on contracts? Like federal government offers programs and things like that. So that could support hiring a student to be part of a camp leader base to ensure that our numbers are still adequate to accept our community members.
Yeah, on the granting front, 2 summers ago, we applied for and were successful with kind of a green jobs based initiative, which brought on a student that helped out, and there was a mentor that was lined up with the program and everything else. So as granting opportunities arise, we definitely investigate. There are a handful of opportunities out there that are pretty small dollars and are just not administratively worth our time to chase. But yeah, absolutely. If the fit is right, we will definitely intend to apply.
Yeah, because if we are going through with the summer programs, it would be great to actually include high school students in the hiring process, because the mentoring them throughout, which could potentially lead to recreation employment later on.
Follow up, Ms. Fishbeck.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a key part of just our core daily operations that we do, the amount of high school students and younger staff. When we look at programs like our Ready, Set, Guard program and the mentorship that happens on there, that's a part of our recreation culture, knowing that we're going to get 4 or 5 good years out of some of these students before they move on. But yeah, we don't have a formal policy or a formal program, but that's just a huge component of what we do.
So if we do need a direction, I'd like to move a motion that we are.
Actually, I've got one more
Oh, yeah.
speaker.
Oh, sorry.
Seek
Yep.
some information, and we do have Miss Seville working on. Oh. Councilor Guillo.
Like I don't have any problems with these extended programs. I just want to see like there's a cap for the budget. And like when you're piloting something and then it increases the budget next year because it took off, and then you pilot something else and it just keeps on increasing, that it would be nice to have like, okay, this is how much we're going to spend on rec. And then that's it, like, and you can do whatever you want within that budget. But for me, I find that is the problem. Like, even though you're recovering your costs, if your expenses are higher, like you're getting, we're going above. And then the taxpayer is supplementing, and we're not raising our rates for the drop in, we're not doing this and that, so but we just need that. I would feel a lot better just with a cap. I don't care what you do within it. You can have your little, you can have a budget, not little, you can have a budget for
You have
piloting.
all these
piloting
important programs.
For these really important programs, but I don't want it to balloon. That's my concern.
Mr. Dennegar? No, go to,
Were you in the room with us just last week? Staff actually had this conversation quite lively last week, like a positive, good, lively chat about exactly that idea of the way the rec budget's been handled over the years is certainly not ideal, and it's just the way things were. We can't fix the past, but the chat amongst the three of us is that we look at the programming budget as a bucket, and then through some strategic planning that's going to be occurring this year, the rec master plan and stuff like that will help provide guidance on it, and all the policy work that Jordan has, Petrix has on his plate, a lot of really important policy work about, you know, the social aspect of things, the cost recovery rate, the rates, the space allocation, all these lovely things, is to come up with a program budget that has a certain amount set to sort of core programming that meets all policy requirements, and then a certain percentage of that for trialing things out. And a rec budget does need to be dynamic, right? Just same in public works or any department. You know, if it snows, we suddenly have to focus on snow. So if a new program comes out, a new sport comes out, pickleball I hear is popular now, then the rec department should be able to pivot mid-year to handle that, but knowing the bounds within which they need to do it. Plus, they need to just be able to try things out. Maybe 10% of the budget is to just try something and see how the community responds to it, rather than in the past, here was the core, and then everything trial was above and beyond that. And then we came back like we are now going, it worked, can we keep it, right? It's just not the best way to do it. So exactly what you're saying, you must have been with us.
Mr. Pesvik, you had your hand up?
Oh, it's just, yeah, absolutely. Like Mr. Dennegar just kind of dove in with pretty much exactly what I was going to say. But with any program that we trial, we're always hyper conscious of this, and trying to be in a position where we're coming back with the best news story as possible. But programming like pickleball is a perfect example where there was this instant explosion of a sport where daily we're getting 10, 15 people coming to us asking for more. And so we pivot, we offer more. And one of the internal things as well that we're working on is when we see this stuff coming, and you know, my magic 8 ball is predicting this type of stuff, that at least we're bringing forward a report mid-season to go, hey, council, do we want to be looking at amending budgets or not? Or, you know, here's the pros, cons of what we're looking at. So we definitely intend to kind of up that communication when we are kind of mid-stride in terms of dealing with some of these positive problems that are landing on our desk. But on a regular basis, I peel my staff back going, we can only pilot one thing at a time, when meanwhile the level of interest that they have, you know, they want to bring a lot more. And what that does for their morale with some of these programs has been just huge too. Look, fitness, like look at where we've gone in the last 3 years with that. That's now a program that's, you know, 100% cost recovery and hitting huge numbers as well too. So there's some great examples out there, but yeah, we're definitely always top of mind on that side of things.
Thank you, Councilor Hambrick.
Yes, thanks, Your Worship. Yeah, I was sitting at the table there last night in the Recplex. The summer camps registration came up as a topic of discussion from a 3 or 4 people that were sitting at their keyboards waiting until things were open, and they were full by 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. I see a great need in the community, and that always cut. So whether we have to put our pricing up a little higher to ensure that we make sure we recover the costs, put it on, I think that would be something beneficial to think about anyway.
Thank you. Ms. Pesvik, you made the comment of cost recovery, are we talking for the, and I'll use the example of the fitness programs, is that, are we talking full cost recovery, facilities, staff?
Right now, that programming, kind of, our goal is to make sure that it's 100% staff. So I might be taken incorrectly if I said 100% cost recovery. I think internally, again, looking at rec master plans, facility master plans, you know, to have an agreed upon council stamped formula for this type of stuff would be wonderful. When we're looking at new base programs of any sort, generally what we put into the mix is our staffing costs. And then the bylaw stamped gym rental cost. Like that's kind of our starting point when we're looking at a new program, is how do we build it? How do we kind of get to that level where we can recover the staffing costs and then make a contribution that is comparable to the hourly rental rate to the gym. So there's a lot more work to be done on that, but internally that's how we approach it. Lots of different ways that this could be impacted as we move forward into more of a more detailed planning process.
Thank you for that. Councilor Cooper, you had some intent.
Yeah, I see that we have a motion up that the Standing Committee of Finance confirm the budget for summer camps as part of the draft 2026-2030 recreation service operation budgets. I'd like
So we'll
to-
get this onto the floor.
Yep.
Looking for a seconder. Councilor Rotley seconding the motion, speaking to the motion. No speakers to the motion. Call the question. All those in favor of the motion? Opposed? Carried unanimously. And then coming back to Councilor Guio's comments with regards to having a bug in the room during staff meeting. What's the follow-up on that, Mr. Denegard, with regards to when that comes back to council for maybe direction or final direction, or to be informed?
Well, I mean, the budget is what the budget is, and we shouldn't be spending beyond it, except in exceptional circumstances. So, you know, from the 2026 year onwards, don't expect surprise trials. And the massive reallocation, more correct allocation of funding between rec and say public works is another good step in the right direction of having a budget that's actually accurate. Because if it's not accurate from the base, it's hard to really know what you have to work with. So come the end of this year, there shouldn't be any, hey, we've tried something else out, can we add it to the budget? That shouldn't happen again. So between the policy work and the rec master plan and so forth, it will be coming back at a natural point. I can't say exactly when, but at a natural point when those are completed, probably actually in stages. It'll just be an overarching theme of the work that Mr. Petrovics will be doing, is guiding how programming is done. And whether or not we come up with a hard set percentage or just a policy framework, that'll come in the future.
Thank you for that. And with this motion going forward, we need to be aware, cognizant of the fact that, you know, we may be increasing expectations. So, I mean, that's all part of that mix and that conversation for sure. Okay, thank you for that. We have Councilor Riley, my apologies.
No worries. Thank you, Mayor. I guess just a question on sourcing for the operating projects. Is that just general surplus? There's no operating reserve that we're dipping into, just general.
Ms.
general
Brown?
funds?
Thank you for the question. So for the projects at the Mount 7 rec complex, that's the toilets and the emergency lights. Those would both be from general taxation. And so part of the reasoning behind that is if we take the money out of reserves, then we're paying for it 100% out of Town of Golden funding.
Yeah, Councilor Riley?
I like the approach of evening out the burden a bit. Look forward to maybe a more equal, more equitable split between the CSRD and the town.
Thank you for the caveat, because I was going to challenge the word evening. We're on a path. Okay, with that, anything else with regards to the recplex? If not, we're moving on to swimming pool. Ms. Brown?
Thank you, Mayor Ozust. So I will say a different facility, a little bit of the same story when it comes to the budget and the allocation of that staff time. So just to keep that noted. The facility rentals in the current year. So for 2025, I keep saying current year for 25. That's still where my head is at. My apologies. In the prior year, in 2025, exceeded the revenue budget slightly, about 107% of budget at 113. And then, so scheduling approximately a 3% increase for the facility rentals and keeping the passes and programs steady until such time as that bylaw comes up for renewal for the fees and charges. There's also been a shift within the number of hours for QP staff. So from an 8-hour day to a 7.5. And so at this point in time, we're keeping program and courses at the prior year budget until such time as we can work out the overall impact. We don't want to inflate the budget too much and make it an unachievable target for the team. So keeping a little bit more conservative in this budget than all others. Simply because of the operations and the hours. The core contribution for the CSRD has increased by about 15% as a result of the increases mainly in the salaries and wages. You can see that it is a 23% increase, similar to the Mount 7 Recplex, but only a 2% and a 1% increase in contracted and general services, as well as materials, supplies, and utilities. There are 3 major projects, and so you will see 2 transfers from the reserves in contradiction to my prior commentary on Mount 7. There's only so many projects that we can put to the tax bottom line. Otherwise, it does become relatively expensive as we have already exceeded our 20%. And so continuing to put that to the bottom line doesn't support an additional contribution from the CSRD. So there is a swimming pool next step study, which is 100% funded through the CSRD Economic Opportunity Funds, which you see up above in the swimming pool revenue. And then there is also pool boiler maintenance for $35,000 in 2026 and a controller and kiosk install for $17,000 funded by the Climate Action and the Equipment Operating Reserve. So overall, a 22% increase to the budget, but hopefully the conversation we had about Mount 7 helps inform this conversation as well. So welcome any questions you have, and I will redirect them to the more knowledgeable staff to my right.
Thank you for that. Just draw attention to the CSRD, the Economic Opportunity Fund dollars. And albeit those dollars are held by the CSRD through order in council, to run through the regional districts, those EOF dollars are shared dollars, municipal and electoral area A dollars allocated for our broader community. Just a comment for those that might be watching or might not be watching. Councilor Routley.
Thank you, Mayor. So I guess to that point around the reserve contributions, certainly fair since we're already tapped out at that 20%. So arguably, we're not $4,617 overshot. Where there's another $10,400 that would have been recovered if we went through general surplus. So we're $14,000 overdrawn on the 20% from CSRD. So that it's already quite a dire picture. Unfortunate, but that's where we're at.
Just draws more attention to the need to have good information to enter into some discussions. Anything else with regards to the swimming pool? I guess the question to Mr. Petrovic with regards to the operating projects and the next step study, is that something that will be accomplished throughout within the calendar year of 2026 or the fiscal year of 2026?
That's the goal. The boiler maintenance and the kiosk work, that's more in the operations world, but that's work that'll be scheduled in before the facility opens up, and I think we're both confident that we'll be on track with that. Your pool next step study, just the expression of interest process closed last Thursday. I'm yet to start unpacking the 11 proposals that we received for that project and getting the wheels rolling with that one. But from a staff perspective, we're very hopeful to be able to award a contract and get this get good information out to the community before we go into election and such. So that's the current staff goal on that project.
And that's part of the drive for my question is the fact that there is no election November 2026. Do you see the potential for a need of a referendum question at any point in time through this process? And is that adequate time to be able to garner a referendum, or would we need to be doing something separate from the election cycle?
I feel, sorry, through your worship, I feel that's a very aggressive goal for us to be able to complete this study, get the actual information in front of council, and then provide council with the adequate time to make a decision on whether or not we need to be pushing for a referendum, with the intent that this would be a CSRD driven referendum, not a Town of Golden referendum, based on the funding as well. Yeah, I'll be as bold to say I think that's a little too much on my plate.
Yeah, thank you, and I raise that in the interest of drawing it to the attention of the next potential council. This is work that they're going to need to do.
I think to your comment though, I mean, it's our, kind of my goal as staff is to be able to bring forward a report that will have that information on the three options that have been discussed, so that at least there is fallback, and a document that the general public can look into. That component is definitely within, I feel, something that we can deliver upon. But the complications of referendum and the political conversations council would have to have with the regional district, I think we're cutting it a little close.
Absolutely. Councillor Wheel?
Yeah, I'm just curious because I'm not too sure how that works, but because there was a referendum and it was pretty high numbers, is it possible that they could do an alternate approval process with it?
I'll let Steph speak to that.
So on the existing referendum that was passed, if we miraculously are able to come in with pricing to be able to build an indoor based facility, we could challenge the merits of that facility. That's already kind of happened. There's been some legal reviews that were done when the original design kind of pivoted, when the original project started hitting some of the budgetary challenges that it was having and some of the scope was changed. That's purely a conversation with the CSRD, because again, that referendum lives, that funding, that loan lives with the CSRD, but it is tied very, very specifically to an indoor facility. So if we're looking at modifying our existing outdoor or building a new outdoor, it's safe to say that opportunity would be off the table from a funding perspective. Based on the timing associated with when we could actually pull on that referendum, that also is very aggressive. I don't have the date at the tip of my tongue, but I believe it is in like 2027 is when we'd have to actually draw upon that loan, shovels in ground. That's detailed design, the whole list of stuff. We have a ton of good information that we can pull from, that we have at our fingertips on the work that's been done thus far, but the actual scope of any building is going to change drastically in terms of next steps. So yeah, hopefully that helps unpack that a bit for you.
I'll be so bold to suggest that regardless of where this comes out at the end of the day, you can do the alternate approval process, recognizing that if there is a failure, that then you can go to referendum. If you go to a referendum, it's done and dealt with. The direction has been set by the populace. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, staff.
And just observations of seeing other projects like this from around the province. It's relatively rare that an alternate approval process is used for something that is kind of as politically charged as a new aquatic facility. It's not too often this type of stuff goes through alternate approval, unless it's for like larger scale repairs or something along those lines to an existing facility. But it is an option.
Thank you. Anything else with regards to Ms. Bevick, follow up?
Just a tiny bit of supplemental information on the pool. we had a very, very successful run of our Ready Set Guard program last year, and we did end up bringing on 9 new staff mid-season last year. So when you look at your salaries, wages, and benefits, that's definitely why there's a bit of a bump in there. We're not intending to those programs, like a program like this kind of has its ups and downs, and we are actually changing kind of the timing of when we host different courses. So we're not anticipating to be in the fortunate position of welcoming 9 new staff to the roster halfway through the season. But that kind of overspend on that side of things has really set us up to get right out of the gate with a strong team and offering lessons. As well, through your bylaw process, we definitely intend to bring forward some rate increases to your lessons and that side of things beyond kind of our historical increases, just because the research that we're doing right now, we know we have some wiggle room in there to bring up a little bit higher rates, which will bump up your revenue. A little hard to forecast at this time, but based on the components, a very wet, very mosquito-y summer that impacted where we want it to go with this facility. And I often feel more like a farmer when it comes to the pool and the operations out there, and that just how subjected to weather we are with our numbers is always throws new challenges on our plate.
Thank you for that. Councilor Manuel?
I'm just wondering, I know that you have done several things over the last few years to increase usage, rather, i.e. one of them being, no, you don't dump your kid here and come back in a few hours. But are there still ones which you might, like extend the hours open or something, so you can get lane swimmers up in some ridiculous hour, but they're that motivated? Are there any possibilities to increase the ability for people to use it and the number of people using it?
Ms. Petrick?
We have a fair amount of new items that we're working through it this year, and one of the biggest things we're working through right now is through the collective agreement, this adjustment down to 7.5 hour working days is throwing some challenges on our table right now in terms of operational hours and when the facility is going to be open. That and a lot of it just comes down to having enough staff, enough leads to have these overlaps. But slicing basically an hour of time off of our key lead staff this year is going to probably result in us opening a little bit later in the morning, which will have an impact on the 5 or 6 lane swimmers that religiously show up at 6 in the morning. The other big item that again, I hate to keep referring back to rec master plan, but space allocation policy bylaws, but there is basically all of our prime time, Monday through Thursdays, goes to our swim club. And this has been a challenge for us for years, where we know we could be pushing more lessons. We know we could be offering more public swim programs, but the swim club really does have a very solid stick in the mud in terms of those times and their needs for the programming that they deliver. And we have similar challenges at the arena, but this is a big one when we look at the ability of being able to capitalize on prime time programming and offer more. Our existing policy, space allocation policy, supports that for us, but we know that if we really held to the fire and pushed swim club out, that this gallery would be likely full of swim club members and you would have a major headache to deal with. So we do our best to kind of tiptoe our way through that with groups. But when we look at use at the pool and the opportunities for us to drive more revenue, it really kind of comes down to that battle of primetime programming. So more policy discussion to come your way in the future.
Anything else with regards to the swimming pool? And this is the last of the core facilities. Seeing none. You want to split up core facilities and recreation services as far as any resolutions, or group them all together? Okay. So with that, we'll move on to recreation services. Maybe we'll take a 5-minute bio break. Come back at 11:20. Ready for the recreation services, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Roses. So this is the draft financial plan for all other parks and recreation outside of the core facilities contributed to by the CSRD. So in the first section under parks and recreation, there are a multitude of parks that don't have specific revenue sources. So for example, Kumsheen or the clown park or otherwise, and those are all contained within this budget, as well as some of the forestry services, as you'll see with some of those operating projects down below, as well as the general administration for parks and recreation. So wages that are not contained or specifically allocatable to any of the other core departments. We do have bench sponsorships and we don't really budget for those on an ongoing basis. We recognize them as they come in and they offset the expenditures for placing the benches and for the tags on them. The revenue from grants, I believe, is related to some trees, a tree grant, I believe, that was received in this year. For salaries and wages, as discussed, you'll see a slight reduction in the salaries and wages. This is partially as they have been reallocated by the rec services team to the core rec services as opposed to public works budgets. So contracted and general services, a slight increase, and materials and supplies a slight decrease. So just a little bit of a reallocation in terms of where everything is going, but an overall 3% decrease in the operating expenses for all of the parks and recreation. We do have some somewhat major projects coming through. So that Recs and Parks master plan that Director Petrovics was speaking about initializing in 2026 and then further continuing in 27 and completing in 28. There are some emerald ash borer injections, which I am sure somebody other than me can tell you all about, probably Mr. Cochran. And then fire fuel reduction as well in the current year. And then a playground condition assessment planned for 2028. The transfer to from own funds, this is the expenditures that the town of Golden, so this is just an inter-budget allocation. The cemetery is a separate fund from the general fund of Parks and Recreation, and this is the contribution that the town of Golden makes as opposed to the contribution that we receive from the CSRD for the cemetery. So it's just reallocating that expense over to the cemetery, which has a zero balance. And then we do have some contributions from both the Climate Action Reserve for the emerald ash and the fire fuel reduction, and then general surplus for the Recreation and Parks Master Plan. On that note, it's a 6% increase to the budget, mainly due to projects that are of a one-off nature. So I welcome any questions you have about the overall Parks and Recreation budget.
Council, any questions? Maybe I'll start off with under the operating projects. Most likely to Mr. Cochran, the fire fuel reduction allocation of $20,000 in 2026, no allocations for 27, 28, 29, 30. My understanding of that service is that $20,000 kind of buys us about 2.5 hectares of mechanical fuel reduction. Is that an accurate understanding? And the query why we don't have money going forward into future budgets, allotments for future fuel fire reduction. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. So on the item of the fire fuel reduction, that is a project on the Selkirk bench that was identified by the Fire Smart coordinator and brought forward by myself. It's just it's at the very top of the slope, immediately beside the BC Hydro right away, behind those homes, if you can imagine that, just at the top of Selkirk Hill. I guess my response to the reason why it's not carried out into future years would be because to date, nothing else has come forward as being identified as a priority fuel reduction initiative. If it were, we could certainly get them in there.
Thank you for that. And I asked a question relative to the community wildfire DWRI or whatever that has just come up for the municipal and the rural area. And I look at the plots of land that have been identified as high risk within the municipal footprint. And I see the need for future allocations of dollars to be able to address those going down the road. So has that new CWRI program been integrated into the future potential for budget allocations for fuel reduction?
Your worship, not at my level, it hasn't. No.
So look to staff. Not at your level, then the level up is
perhaps the fire department.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see. Thank you. Okay, so actually, I appreciate the answer, and I would still like to see some allocation of dollars into fuel reduction in the future. And I'll leave that for now. We'll move on to other subject matters, and I'll bring it back after. Councilor Wheel.
No, I was just saying that some of those ones that were identified during that meeting, I think were not in Parkland. So it's probably why it's not in this budget as well.
It's fair.
No.
Thank you. Councilor Hamburg?
Yeah. Thank you, worship. Yeah, just you mentioned that the revenue from grants, the $10,000 or the $8,000 being for trees. Is that for the BC Hydro grant program or?
Mr. Cochran?
Through your worship, that's correct, Councillor Hamburg. That would be the BC Hydro regreening funds we received.
Any follow-up, Councilor Hamburg?
Just wondering if that's something we apply for every year, or is it available every year?
Through your worship, it has historically been available every year, and we did apply again for 2026.
Any follow-up, Councilor Hamburg?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll follow up. I appreciate Councilor Wheel's comments with regards to the amount of parkland that is identified within that report may be very small. So then I asked the broader question to staff, where would there be allocations for fuel reduction strategies to follow up on the CWRI report? I looked at you. Sorry about that, Mr.
No, kind of wish our fire smart coordinator and fire chief were here right now. Little off the topic of rec services, but good question. This is something that would be coordinated through those two, through the fire chief and fire smart coordinator. They'd be looking at coordinating those sorts of activities with both the regional district and the province. Typically, there is actually provincial funding to help with that when it's outside our boundaries. But we would hope to coordinate with the regional district on this, and there is some funding, I believe, that we're sitting on to help with that. And I would expect that once the plan's in place in a coordinated manner, we would fund it into the future. So that is work that will be planned out this year.
Thank you for that, and I thank you for drawing to my attention the digression on my part. Anything else, Council, with regards to Parks and Rec services? Seeing none, we move on to Keith King. The next one on the list, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Rosius. So Keith King Memorial Park, I think relatively new in terms of being a specific site for facility revenues, as well as the increased operating expenses that have come about as some increasing levels of service as directed by council. So the facility revenue in the current year did actually, in the prior year, 2025, in 2025, did exceed budget by about 118%. And so we are anticipating a potential increase for 2026 in terms of fees and in terms of usage. So the budget has gone up by 22% as compared to the prior year 2025 budget. We do have an increase in salaries and wages, as well as contracted services and materials and supplies. But overall, the Keith King Memorial Park total is only a 6% increase as compared to the prior year budget. So I welcome any questions you have about Keith King Memorial Park. And do note that this is one of those facilities that is perhaps equally used by the CSRD and the town of Golden.
But not in the shared core services agreement.
Yes.
Councilor Cooper.
I just want to ask, the facility rental revenue, was that an increase due to exterior tournaments, or is it an increase due to town initiated like kids ball programs? What caused and what is the likelihood that it would continue to keep up at the higher level? Is it tournament based or is it local use based?
Mr. Federick.
That question is so much more loaded than what you intended it to be. But this is a great opportunity to get you up to speed on everything Keith King. It's so from a revenue perspective, as council is likely aware, we now have a youth hardball association that really just in the last 2 years has just kind of gone from nothing to 200 some odd kids. So there's some great uptake in terms of baseball revenue and such on that side in your fields. We did host at least 2 to 3 additional tournaments. And we're seeing a wonderful shift now too with our uptake in terms of the adult softball, as well as both the hardball and soccer associations are getting more competitive and starting to host more weekend games and getting into that side of things. So kind of all that combined is why revenues are up. We're also continuing to branch out the use at the concession building. So events like disc golf tournaments, now with fields, the courts project coming online next year. We're working on getting irons in the fire to utilize that facility a bit more. So that's kind of why we've projected some bigger increases in revenues. Well, I got the microphone. I might as well dive into this one as well. We have ongoing conversations with the soccer association, and they want to see a level of increase in terms of the care at the facilities. And these conversations just kind of landed on my desk about a week and a half ago. So it was tough for us to bring forward 2 options in the budget. However, soccer is willing for their rates to increase to basically cover the rates and fees associated with, or the maintenance costs associated with an extra day of mowing on the fields. That group is very keen to see us kind of continue to step up the maintenance and such at the fields. And so that will likely come to you as more of an amendment as we get into the rates and fees that the groups want to see more happening in terms of maintenance at those fields. And our approach would be to supplement it with increases to your rates and fees. So I'll kind of drop that little carrot there for more questions.
Any follow-up?
I had a different question, so I can, if anyone has some follow-up.
So on the rates and fees, and I look at the numbers there for the for Keith King, it's about 14 or 15% cost recovery relative to that, to some of the other facilities that we talk about. We won't even talk about the cost recovery from Parks and Rec general. So just an understanding that in all instances, there isn't that ability of staff to be able to bring back that cost recovery of hopefully 25% plus with some of these. And the hope would be that the new rates and fees would be able to increase revenues appropriately to offset the costs associated with the additional work. It's just an editorial comment, I guess, more than anything else. Councilor Greal?
Also, with regards to rates and fees, when it's users that aren't residents, it'd be nice to see those fees go up if we're using, taxpayer money to maintain these facilities. definitely those fees need to go up with all the different groups that are coming in and having tournaments and races and everything.
Just specifically able to speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have within your rates and fees bylaw, there is non-resident rates for all your facilities, and up at Keith King, we've kept the gap a little bit smaller in the past just because we didn't have the demand or the business there. And like we did with the arena about 10 years ago, we started out that gap fairly small. We started to retain that business from out of town interest. And then we, presented some larger bumps in terms of your out of town fees. So that's definitely, one of those edits that's on our radar to bring forward in your rates and fees bylaw to extend that gap a little bit more. KKMP has always been that little bit of a struggle over the levels of service that we apply, expectations from out of town renters within our own. But the underlying message is that we're starting to see this trend amongst our organized groups up there for hosting their own tournaments and bringing more to the facilities. So it's pretty cool to be in a position where we're getting this facility back to what it was like probably 20 plus years ago.
Any follow-up?
With regards to that, you have local groups bringing in outsiders. Is there like any surcharges that we can be charging these groups when they have events? Like for instance, like we're gonna have a pickleball court up there, and I'm sure they're gonna have tournaments, and there'll be people from out of town attending them. Is there any looking at like changing the cost structure of that, or to bring in more revenue?
Yep. Well, I catch. Sorry, man. Sorry, through your worship. Totally understand where you're coming from with this, Councillor Go, but looking at it more from that structure standpoint, this is a very big conversation, because if we do this at one of our facilities, then we'd be looking at doing it at a place like the arena as well. And when we look at what our local groups do in terms of tournaments and such, and this is across the nation, is that generally your local rates apply, and that allows your own association to fundraise and build more money for their own teams, their own travel gear, and just really kind of fueling that non-for-profit side of things. So to provide examples and such is definitely something we can do, but it's a very double-edged sword that if we're charging our out-of-town teams more, they're not going to come to tournaments and events here because it'll be way cheaper for them to go to another community, those outside teams. So there could be some pretty massive pushback from other communities. And that being said, Golden is a pretty difficult community for us to attract groups to come and play from a tournament perspective as it is right now. I know groups like minor hockey and even Keith King users generally have a hard time convincing teams to make the trek up to our community to play in these sports. So it's one that we also need to kind of unpack, because when we look at the economic benefits of hosting these different tournaments and what they bring, you have local groups that are bringing in, filling hotels, restaurants, all that side. We've never gotten too deep into that in our high level kind of policy conversations around recreation. But yeah, it's a challenging one. And it's one that's crossed our minds many a times too, on how we could approach creating maybe tournament specific rates. Because with that, a lot of times groups are asking for a high level of service over those events too. So
Follow up
yeah.
on Squirrel.
It's just, there is a higher level of service, definitely, with these tournaments. Also, higher level of demand on our services, not just the parks. You're talking policing, you're talking fire department, you're talking all of this. And there has to be a way to recoup some of these other areas, and
Yep.
this is one way, even if it's just a surcharge fee if you're not a town team or whatever. I just think that right now the taxpayer is supplementing this.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I don't necessarily agree that it's hard to attract this kind of tournaments to Golden, because it's like every weekend there's something. So
it's a great initiation of the conversation around other revenue generating opportunities relative to the impacts of visitors.
And there's
That's
plenty of
perfect.
examples out there, like even places as big as Richmond actually have partnerships with their tourism association and stuff, where the tourism association is actually helping pay out of town rates to secure some of these larger tournaments and events because they see the benefits of the hotel rooms and everything that come to a city of that size. So there's lots of different initiatives out there that really start to borderline into that whole economic development side of things and that side of the story that these events bring to the community too. So I'm kind of referencing back to the importance of doing a facilities master plan, but this would be a wonderful place to kind of start to look into educating council on all the facets of our pricing structure and how our facilities could work through a document like that.
Follow up?
I just also recognize that like places like Kamloops, they do charge extra. Like I have like 2 or 3 different communities that I've just found that do have that kind of an extra fee structure, and Kamloops is like one of the top place for tournaments. So
Absolutely. And from a staff perspective, we'd like to come back with the full story because while they charge more fees, some of the programs that go in through sponsorships and private sector involvement to help recuperate some of those rates, so it's not being passed along to the actual teams. There's a lot of different initiatives that are kind of behind the scenes of what's listed in a bylaw. So again, that Richmond example is really a good one in that, you know, a different association is helping fuel that because they see the economic benefits of the events. And I have some great ties in Kamloops, so I could easily get more details on how that works from a rates and fees perspective, and provide council with more of the big picture story.
And again, all of this is part and parcel of that rec master plan.
That's where it feels best from a department perspective to present this, because there's just so many aspects of the conversation that I feel council needs to wrestle with as we start to look at how our facilities work and how we're positioning them. When we look at, I mean, this gets into space allocation conversations and everything else, which really aren't, budget isn't the best place to dive into all of this, but it's this big story that we'd like to be able to bring forward.
And from looking at the budget under Parks and Rec, that we're starting that conversation this year, cranking it up for the Rex master plan for next year, and then going to finish it off for the year after. Is that correct?
If council's nodding their head on that plan, then that's what staff will strive to do.
By virtue of accepting the budget, we're setting that direction because it's in the budget. Okay. Anything else with regards? Oh, my apologies, Councilor Cooper.
That's okay. I'm waiting. I actually wanted to talk a little bit about how the in-kind donation document that we have on the other thing, because Kicking Horse Culture and Kicking Horse Kicks uses the facilities, and we don't charge for them, so that would be an in-kind donation that could be added through, I feel, a necessity to add to an in-kind donation because they are using fields in the Keith King Memorial Park, and there is no charge to them for these fields as far as I know. So should be captured somewhere as an in-kind donation.
Absolutely.
Patrick?
Yep, absolutely. And the more policy conversation through your bylaw process needs to be tackled with that. The whole rationale when Summer Kicks was shifted up there, it was a bit of a spur of the moment decision because of pandemic restrictions at the time, and it's another one of these programs that's just rolled and had some good feedback and success. But as part of the bylaw process, getting that clarity on whether we're charging them our rack rate for rentals of those fields or considering them a facet of our own operations and extending the facility is something that council can unpack in bylaw.
And whether it be up at Keith King or down at Spirit Square, same rule
Yeah.
of thumb would apply.
Because there is costs involved for lawn cutting and being prepared for people and to have the fields ready for soccer the next day. There is extra costs to the town for these programs. And I feel like it needs to be captured as an in-kind donation because it is a cost to tech.
My comment is if in fact that event moved down to Spirit Square, there I'm sure are
Cost
added
as well.
costs and there's
Yeah.
another in-kind donation.
Yeah, and we need to be capturing it somewhere.
Okay, thank you. Seeing nothing else, we move on down the list to the campground. Councillor Greeley, you get to stay in the room. How does that feel? Ms. Brown?
Turn my microphone back on. I got a bit of a breather there for a while. It was great. So the municipal campground is, there is an operator who runs the campground on our behalf, and there is a revenue share that comes as a result of that. There are some salaries and wages from the town that go into maintaining certain aspects of that facility as it is a town-owned asset. And then there are contracted in general as well as material and supplies. The budget as compared to the prior year is decreasing slightly. There were a few projects in the prior year. And we have seen an increase in revenue as well. If you look to 2025, a 265% increase in the revenue we generated for the facility, which is excellent. And so a 60% estimated increase for 2026, as we are being conservative as always. So I welcome any questions you have regarding that municipal campground budget or additional information we can provide.
Thank you for that. Council, any questions? Any sneaky questions by virtue of deep insight? None. Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to RMI, Resort Municipality Initiatives.
RMI is not that exciting in terms of it is revenue in and revenue out. The exciting part of the Resort Municipal Initiatives Department is simply in the projects that are being carried out within the Town of Golden Area A. So there is a list of projects that have been carried out for 2025, and then the plans for 26 and 27. The RMI program is a 3-year rolling cycle, I believe, and therefore we'll have future plans in future years. So I welcome any questions you may have.
Thank you for that. Councilor Cooper?
When we see, sorry, RMI administration of 344, are we taking a general admin fee as far as finance costs involved with us to bring money in and out and pay for projects, etc.? Is it being captured here?
Ms. Brown?
It is being captured. 2025 might not have the full allocation done yet.
Okay. That's very low.
I believe that's simply related to exact costs and not the final allocation. So there might have been travel or advertising associated with that RMI grant. So those costs would have been put in and recognized as revenue. But the general administration that would go to our administration fees has not been recognized because the books are not yet quite closed.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Brown, are you able to speak to or remind me why we have the campground revenue as the revenue stream for RMI?
That would be a typo.
Okay.
My sincere apology.
I figured there was a strategy there that I'm aware of. All right, thank
Your
you.
esteemed colleague to my left has already noted that. I forgot to mention it as I was talking through as I corrected it in my sheets already.
There's no surprises in that.
No surprises. Campground is not funding the RMI program.
Okay, thank you for that. We move on to Kicking West Culture.
Speaking of typographical errors, I do have one here where I neglected to place the proper funding contribution for the cultural services from the CSRD. So I have provided a copy of the updated numbers to our Director of Corporate, who should have them up on the screen for you. And it's the operating expenses have not changed. Simply the allocation, the contribution up above in 2027 is now 92,829, reflective of the contribution by the town of Golden down below of 92,829. And so there's an approximate 50-50 split here with the CSRD for funding both general services and live kicks, as well as summer kicks. So this budget will be a little bit more interesting as council has recently discussed it and requested a few things in return to estimate both high and low aspects of the ask from Kicking Horse Culture or Golden District Arts Council. What we've done with this particular budget here is done a 3% increase on average for every year from 26 through 2030. In 2026, it is a larger increase. It's a 15% increase as a result of the Summer Kicks tent renewal project. However, it reduces back down in 2027 to just be 3% per year. So it's not an operating expense increase. That's only 3%. It's simply there is a project in 2026 for $12,000 that is being funded equally by the CSRD and the town of Golden. So the split between these for Summer Kicks and General Services Live Kicks have all been maintained within a singular contract at this point in time. And I don't know if you want to speak further to it at this point in terms of our approach. And I've offered to calculate any split over and above that 3%. So if you add another 10%, the town of Golden will have to pay 50% of whatever increase over and above that we would provide to Kicking Horse Culture. So I would.
Mrs. Patrick?
I think the one element that we're coming to the table with this increase too is it does pull in line with our other facilities and operations that we do within the recreation realm. In that kind of that 3% is what we generally come to council with from a budgeting perspective in terms of increases. So this is a great opportunity to get Kicking Horse Culture kind of on the same program. And where Kicking Horse Culture is at right now with the changes in leadership and such, I intend to work with that organization to bring back a more fulsome story. As in the last round, we got into levels of service and how that there was a lot of questions there that I want to work with Logan with to be able to bring back more information to council, just so it's fully understood on where the organization is going and their levels of service and such. But a 3% increase with their contract does allow us to kind of maintain and address those increasing costs that we're all subjected to no matter what operation we're running.
Thank you for that. Councilor Cooper?
I just want to understand the tent rentals. So our tent renewal. So we own the tent, and is it being rented by Kicking Horse? Do they give us in? So we are giving the free land in kind donation, and we are responsible for the purchasing of a tent that's also being used as a free product, exclusively being used. So we're paying for. So it's also another form of a donation, free land plus a free tent, which isn't being captured in this as well. So that would also increase the 180 that we're giving is also plus $12,000 because we're purchasing a tent for them that they're not renting from us. Is that correct?
Ms. Brown?
Through your worship, I would hesitate to say free land simply because if you consider some of the TLOs that are available for not-for-profits, they are able to use nonprofit events. And so they aren't charging fees for their services and they aren't receiving funding for it. And therefore, it is plausible that should they not use KKMP, and if they were to use another one of the public spaces, they would receive it for free anyways. And so that's some of the more intricacies of what we would have to delve into in terms of that in kind. And so I would be cautious not to say that in particular for this type of function, especially because the contract is being run specifically on behalf of the town of Golden. We are requesting and paying for the services, and therefore it would be similar or akin to charging ourselves for the service. Would that?
But
Well-
it's a facility. I see, like that tent that we're purchasing, then that's a facility, and we're providing a space at no charge if we consider a tent and the land, which is being rented by other groups as a facility. It's not being charged, so we're responsible for the structure, and we're maintaining a structure that is exclusively used by one program, and it's again not noted as an income. That's a donation in my mind. That's $12,000 that we're donating, kind of. Are we not?
So I'm gonna go back one step. Is that tent exclusively for Kicking Horse Culture, Mr. Petrovic?
I think in the past, anytime that a user group has inquired about using it through the TLO process and such, we've always kind of granted the use of that space. Everything with KKMP is always a little tricky because it's a park, but it's also a facility where we can generate revenue. So there is a ton of gray that goes onto it. Also, when you look at the programming and everything that Kicking Horse Culture does, some communities your entire arts and culture program actually sits underneath the world of recreation and cultural services as well. So there's a lot of different gray lines that could be thrown on the table when we start getting into that benefits of it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we've had lots of conversations that the Summer Kicks program is about serving our residents and giving them that opportunity to take in the music and such. Over the years, the ideas of tourism funding and such has come up, and that's kind of created a little bit of controversy around the location and such. But political conversations have always gone back to Summer Kicks is a program for our residents, our greater residents. It's co-funded by the regional district. So starting to dissect, what we're internally charging and that side of things kind of starts wading into the world of should we be charging ourselves for the arena when we run a public skate program or run different programming like that as well. Albeit it's free, but it is something on that level as well that council kind of has to consider with this type of programming. One of the benefits up at the existing site is there is a little bit of revenue that comes our way through food trucks that are applying for separate TLOs and licensing to be up there within the event. So you have a separate policy where there's some side revenue, so to say, that would be coming in. But yeah, the tent and that side of things has the ability to serve multiple groups, absolutely. But it was purchased with that intent of this program.
For follow-up, do other groups pay for the tent, or is it a free of charge for other groups as well?
Generally, anything right now is more underneath for your temporary license of occupation process. So that tent space is kind of included as part of a free community group. We have summer camps, for instance, sometimes that come and go from that space in the summer. They utilize that.
But it's same across the board.
Yeah. But
it's like that's okay.
Yeah, and sorry, it's not an asset right now that from a staff perspective we've got. How can we generate some revenue
I just want to
associated
make
with
sure
it?
it's equitable for every
Yep,
group, and
absolutely.
like that's my
Okay,
that's what I'm poking for.
Councillor Guild and Councillor Routley.
Okay, I just want to kind of go back in time. Yesterday we went to the future, but I'd like to think about when Kicking Horse Culture first started the Summer Kicks program down in Spirit Square. If I remember correctly, there was supposed to be a permanent structure for a tent or a pavilion down there for them. And I would believe that would have been paid for by RMI. So the concept of it hasn't changed. So why is it now coming out of taxation to pay for the tent when originally we were going to build something that was a structure in Spirit Square for the same group through RMI?
So we'll go to Mr. Petrovic, then to Miss Brown. I tell you, guys are arm wrestling.
Just Mr. Cochran and myself just had a little nod too as this came up, and we're quite sure that the tent was originally purchased by RMI, and unfortunately, through the RMI program, renewals of this type of nature, we're not able to chase RMI funding for it unless we buy a completely new tent. So we can dig into the background of that. And I got another message teamsing in that might confirm that. I'm getting the nod from Ms. Seville as well, that RMI was actually what we originally purchased. I know there was risers and such that were purchased through RMI back in the day for to facilitate that program. So
Thank you. Any follow-up?
Well, if a tent needs to be replaced, then we should replace it with a new tent through RMI.
No, actually buy a new tent that's 2 feet bigger.
Yeah.
So it's a new asset, not a replacement of an asset. Mr. Deniger.
Just want to also point out that RMI is specifically about tourism related things. And as we just heard about 10 minutes ago, Summer Kicks is very much intended to be a service for the community. So we would basically have to lie to the RMI program to say we need a tent for tourist related programming. So glad we got it when we did, but I would be hesitant to actually put it in there unless we shift the focus of any related programming. There is efforts underway already, and maybe that's why Jordan's got his hand up, but a number of staff in multiple departments are looking at Spirit Square area. It's actually going to be part of the conversations of the OCP and the downtown visioning that's occurring there. So there's discussions, and there is an RMI project, as you'll see in the list, for a new washroom down there. So staff are looking at how a washroom, storage, and potential stage area seating and shading would play out in that original plan from way back when the square was started. And I know there's some interest from the downtown business community as well to bring some more activities back down there to really enliven the space. So maybe that combined tourism and local aspect of some programming could occur in the near future. For just this budget, though, this is a tent that, as we hear, is very much for the community's use, not just tourism. And then just to go back 10,000 feet from the conversation earlier, just a reminder again, and Ms. Brown mentioned this, that the Kicking Horse culture is being treated very much like another department. And as Petrovic said, this could fall under Parks, Recreation, and Culture. It could be a big combined department, and this money would be spent on that department versus Kicking Horse. The belief is that Kicking Horse is probably doing it more cheaply than we could, and with the dynamic ability to function that we don't have internally. So I wouldn't look at any of this as like a granted aid. I would look at it as a contracted department. So any asset we get and any services provided are very much our own. We're just contracting them out. And that's why we're looking at a very basic increase this year, much like we do standard across all departments without anything special. Because we learned from the last SCOF meeting that there's a lot more questions than there are answers, both from council and from staff. So we really get a good handle on what services are they providing, how are they breaking it down, like we talked about last meeting, having it presented so that the Kicking Horse budget looks very much like any other department's budget, so that you have the confidence that you're funding them appropriately.
Fine, man.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thank you for that information. It's great that those conversations are ongoing. Appreciate that. Councilor Routley?
Thank you, Mayor. And the CAO kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to mention, yeah, the framing of it is that the community, the broader community, had elected to see this function come into taxation, and again, we're very lucky for that. And then the approach to any other approaching it is the same as any other function is beneficial. If we're gonna pay from general taxation with a little bit of recovery from the CSRD for some toilet replacements at the Recplex, then in fact I'd say that actually the cultural services function, regardless of who is providing that, in this case is a contracted service with Culture, it's actually outperforming those other functions because we actually have equitable contribution or equal contribution between the CSRD and the town. So it's a model that hopefully we can emulate across all of the rec and cultural services that we provide for the broader community, and certainly supportive of holding things steady at the 3% rate, so that we're not diminishing the economic impact or the purchasing power that function can continue to provide, and then once we have greater information, then we can make greater decisions.
Thank you for that. Kind of a sidebar question, because I've heard the conversation around it's a contracted service, but it's also a service that in some instances the municipality provides. So I just want to make sure we haven't crossed any lines where in fact that entity could say at some point in time in the future that we are actually a service of or a department of the town of Golden and all that comes out of that. Is anybody able to speak to that?
I don't think
there was really no question there, but
I don't think there's too much risk. The fact that it's contractual and that we're only holding them to deliverables and not how they do their day-to-day operations keeps that separation clear.
Thank you very much for that, Councilor Manuel.
And I'd like to see the CSRD helping us more on this because I volunteer at the Civic Center and I see lots of people from the outside of Golden Area A. The Kicking Horse Culture now has held some concerts down at the Parson Community Hall. So, and as well, when I'm up there and I volunteer in the summer, there are a lot of people visiting, and I frequently hear the comment, geez, I wish we had this where I live. But it's a general service to the community, and I believe if we try to bring it into our town bureaucracy, sorry about that, yeah, it would probably be less original, and it would definitely cost us more.
Thank you for that. Just comment with regards to the first part of your statement. Want to see more from the CSOD. We actually have a 50-50 agreement already on this particular contracted service. So are you suggesting we want more from the CSOD?
Always, but I take your point.
Thank you. Anything else with regards to kicking horse culture? Seeing none. You got one portion of this dealt with, which is the rec services, both core and otherwise. So is there a resolution at this point in time? Ms. Brown?
Our trusty corporate officer. Leaving me.
One for mover of a motion that's on the board. Councilor Guillo, second by Councilor Rowley. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. So now the agenda is that we move on to general government operating budget. Both of you can speak. You guys
Go
decide
for
who
it.
speaks first.
So with the recreation services now completed, next up for discussion would be general government services and then property tax and reserves. However, I think council also requires a small break before the meeting this afternoon. Therefore, I'd recommend putting those onto the next SCOF meeting and scheduling at a later date.
Okay. I don't see anybody going, no, we want to do it now. So we'll take that. So we will actually adjourn this meeting. Before we adjourn, there was a couple things that we had some conversations about the pedestrian bridge 25th anniversary. I'm just wondering, where would that fit? Would that fit under the general government? If there was in fact some budget allocation for putting on a celebration of 25 years of the pedestrian bridge, would that fit under Parks and Rec?
We're not gonna pay for that. We are reaching out to community groups to see if there's even interest and what level of interest there is, and then what potential funding sources would go with that.
So that'll come back.
That will come back. Yeah, it's in the CAO's to-do list.
Thank you. Mr. Bedwick?
Just before Councillor Routley puts his hand up with his motion to adjourn, just with the kicking horse culture and the discussion today, is council in agreement that staff can start working on our cultural services contract and inking something based on the rates and the increases that were tabled today?
I'm seeing some nods. I see some hands going up. I'll go to Councilor Guillo first, and then I see Councilor Dale has his hand up.
I do kind of have a problem with this because we are in our last year of our term, and these increases are going to go into the next term, and they're pretty high.
And you're referencing the 3%?
No, the other ones for the contracts.
Sorry, just for clarity, my question is more to for staff to enter into negotiations or enter into conversations with King Horse Culture to bring forward a generally we do a 3-year contract. If council is uneasy with that, I'd recommend a 3-year. We usually do a 5-year contract, but I would recommend a 3-year at minimum, just because of the administrative time that it takes to draft up these types of agreements. If council is okay with us looking at an annual 3% increase and drafting up a contract based on that, I just would like some direction, because right now we have an expired contract with KHC.
So in essence, we're saying basically status quo with 3% going.
Yes.
into
3
the
years,
future.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not what they had presented then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And noting all this, that staff will be working with KHC in the background, providing some more coaching on their annual reports and the information that they bring forward to council, and that any future amendments can obviously be brought up in your budget process if desired. But for us to have at least a sense of security for that organization that they have funding for the next couple of years and get down to their daily business, I think it would be beneficial for both parties.
Before we close it up, recreation services, a fleeting thought just came. What percentage of the overall operating budget does recreation represent? Ballpark. Jordan, I thought you.
Lots.
Mr. Pedrix, I thought you were gonna take that on. Ms. Brown, you can come back to us with that, it's just in general.
I can have that in about 5 minutes if you
Sounds perfect.
want to talk amongst yourselves.
Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll
Maybe
adjourn,
this.
no? Okay,
If I may, your worship,
sure.
specific to the question raised by the Director of Recreation Services on the 3 or 5 year direction for the
Mhm.
contract. I think if SCOF recommends to council setting the direction for 3 years, and is there,
Were you
I
looking-
had heard a request specific around timeline, and so
My apologies.
that
Yeah.
would be beneficial.
Through 3 year would it be absolutely fine. From off of my desk.
So
So
I'd
if
be
we
willing
just-
to move the motion that SCOF direct, however we're wording the chaining of direction from SCOF to council to staff, for a 3 year renewal of the cultural services agreement with Cape Marshall.
Seconder. Looking for a seconder of the motion, Councilor Manuel, seconding the motion, speaking to the motion, Councilor Wheel.
Wouldn't it be better to go 5 years?
I guess I will just pipe in and speaking against motion, I'd be supportive of 5 years also.
Administration would never argue on going to a 5 year contract if council's comfortable with that, and noting that there are plenty of caveats within that contract that could bring this back onto the table. 5 year would be preferred off of my desk.
So is there amendment to the motion?
I think it's on the table. Happy to move the amendment for 5 year.
Thank you for that, and Councilor Manuel, you seconded?
That's fine.
Okay, 5 year, Councilor Cooper?
Sorry, question, should we put the caveat of with like treating it like a department with a regular 3 year percent, like 3%? Or like, because we just want to renew the contract, but it's a given that we know on the caveat of the 3%, or,
It's in the budget.
all right, sorry. Got it.
Now we refer back to the budget and say, hey, we said this.
Yeah, now I'm tired.
Oh, okay, and meeting hasn't really started. We have a motion on the floor, Ms. Brown?
I'll speak to your percentages after your.
Okay. Anybody else speaking to the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Ms. Brown?
Considering expenditures only. So if I look at all of the expenditures on our Schedule A for each segment, general government services, parks and rec, transportation, protective services, sewer, planning and development, water, environment, and economic development services. So those are all the segments that we have. For the 2026 budget, the two top percentages are 25% for general government and 25% for parks and rec and cultural services. Next in line would be transportation services at 16%, protective services at 11%, sewer at 8%, planning and development at 7%, water at 5%, environmental services at 3%, and economic development at 0%. Keeping in mind that there are costs outside of the town of Golden for economic development. And also keeping in mind that the contribution from the CSRD is not included in these expenditures. And so the bottom line cost for the Parks and Recreation and Cultural Services also includes revenues, which is, as expenditures only, they are 25% of the expenditure budget. However, if we look at it overall departmental, that shifts considerably, considering that they create a good amount of revenue as well.
Another one of those cases where it seems like a simple question, but the answer is quite
You got it.
informed.
Mhm.
Thank you
I
for
hope that
that.
answers.
So with that, Councillor Routley, looking for a seconder. Oh my goodness, there was lots of opportunity. Seconded by Councillor Manuel. Motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? You can go for now. Carried unanimously. Thank you, and we'll catch you council in an hour.